Bollywood star Shah Rukh Khan's son Aryan Khan has been cleared in the drugs on cruise case by the Narcotics Control Bureau after 8 long months. Aryan Khan was arrested on the cruise ship in October. He spent 26 days in jail, and today the NCB, in the charge sheet that it's finally filed, a 6,000-page charge sheet, has said that no drugs were found on Aryan Khan. He is not one of those who's been named in that charge sheet. 14 accused have been named after drugs were found in a raid on that cruise ship, Cordelia, off the coast of Mumbai in October, but Aryan Khan isn't one of them. Aryan was one of the 20 people, though, who was arrested, despite the Narcotics Control Bureau claiming that he's part of a larger drug syndicate, an entire narrative that was drummed up in the name of Aryan Khan. He hasn't been named as an accused in this charge sheet, so his name essentially has been cleared. This is the big story that we are tracking at this hour. Let's also, get you the other aspect of this story, which is the reasons behind Aryan Khan being given a clean chit. There were several discrepancies, several irregularities in the way that the Narcotics Control Bureau conducted this particular investigation. No videography, lapses and seizures, nothing being found on Aryan Khan's phone despite those leaked WhatsApp conversations. No medical test even done to sort of prove that there was consumption of drugs. I want to go right across to my colleague Arvind Gunasekar, who's been tracking the details of this investigation from the start. Arvind, you're reporting on a very, very interesting aspect of this case, which is, essentially everything that was wrong with the Narcotics Control Bureau investigation into this particular case. From being accused of being part of an international drug cartel, Aryan Khan hasn't been named in that charge sheet. Take us through, what were some of the main irregularities as far as the NCB probe is concerned?
Rishika, like you mentioned, the Narcotics Control Bureau has filed a charge sheet in this cruise drug case, wherein they have named 14 people as accused, wherein they have given clean chit to Aryan Khan and 5 others. So why and how did NCB, after arresting him, after a year now, submitted a charge sheet giving clean chit to Aryan Khan? So our sources in the Narcotics Control Bureau say that 5 grave irregularities that the SIT or the Special Investigation Team that was constituted to probe this matter, which took over the case from Samir Wankhede team, found in the investigation of Samir Wankhede team. The very first, the grave irregularity that the officials are saying is that though Samir Wankhede team had accused Aryan Khan of consuming drugs, if someone wants to prove that he had consumed drugs, there should have been a medical test. But in the case of Aryan Khan, there was no medical test. Without medical test, the agency could not have proved that Aryan Khan was consuming drugs. Despite that, a section of consuming drugs was invoked against Aryan Khan. That's the very basic or the first grave irregularity. The second, though there was no seizure of drugs from Aryan Khan, but the agency, the then team headed by Samir Wankhede, they had said that his friend, urban merchant who was traveling with Aryan Khan, there was drugs that were seized from his urban merchant, but that particular drug was supposed to be consumed by Aryan Khan. That was the second ground that Samir Wankhede team had invoked against Aryan Khan. But the SIT had found that our urban merchant in the statement has clearly stated that this particular drug was not meant for Aryan Khan. In fact, he has given a statement to the NCB that Aryan Khan clearly told him not to have drugs with him when he entered the cruise party. So even the second ground which Samir Wankhede was invoking against Aryan Khan, which the SIT has found, is completely untrue. The very third important point is the videography. No videography was done the entire search operation. There is no videography, and only the NCB team, the earlier NCB team, had relied on the independent witnesses. But what the SIT has found is that even there is a glaring irregularity in this particular thing. The very informer of this particular case is Kiran Goswami. It is on Kiran Goswami's information the NCB had registered the case. But Kiran Goswami, who is also an informer in this case, he was also made as an independent. That's one grave irregularity. The second is that during the investigation by SIT, one independent witness clearly told SIT that he was made to sign blank papers. That second very strange irregularity is that 2 other punch witnesses that were arranged independent by Samir Wankre. They have confessed to the SIT that they were not even present at the location. So that's why the SIT, for finding all of these points, saying that even when they seized the mobile phones of Aryan Khan without giving a panchnama, without giving a seizure memo, they seized the mobile phones of Aryan Khan, and then they looked into the WhatsApp messages. Even there are glaring irregularity. That's why on these 5 important grounds, the agency has decided to give clean sheet to Aryan Khan, relying on the point that there is no evidence beyond reasonable doubt against Aryan Khan.
All right. So those, of course, are, the nitty-gritties as far as this investigation is in fact concerned. Thanks very much, Arvind, for joining us with the very latest.